This is your number one.
Why do you think this quote na woman dey drive? Why do you think it is an unspoken rule?
Another perspective is that I feel it comes from the place of lack of patience.
It's just the societal way that people have already reasoned women to be like already. There are many times that women drive way better than men.
I want us to separate this superiority thing that you're talking about.
Men are always in a haste to bypass rules, while women will always want to follow rules.
If you're learning how to drive, you're expected to get your learner's permit, which will cover you for a period of 3 months.
Flick Play is the latest feature on the Flickro app.
We thought that, users should be able to score points when they use a particular service or a particular feature.
Most of the times when I see them tow these vehicles, they use very strong ropes.
You're listening to only the best
Automotive podcast in Nigeria.
All right, hello, good evening. Welcome to another Twitter space for Flickwell. It's a beautiful Monday evening. I'm sure your day went well. If it did not, you have the weekend to rest. If your week was stressful, you still have the weekend to rest, and revitalize and prepare for another week next week. All right, we do this twice in a month, right? That's every 2 weeks. This is the Frequel podcast on Twitter Space. My name is Joshua Ikenye Mercury. Today we have something very special that we will be talking about. We have a topic of discourse, and we have a guest, that would be doing justice to the topic of discourse today. Today we are talking about the adventures of an Uber driver's daily hustle. All right, so we'll be uncovering the adventures of an Uber driver's daily adventure, and through the eye of an Uber driver as well. All right, so we'll be doing that very shortly. When we have the guest in, we'll be doing that very shortly. All right, so but basically the as we wait for the guest to come in, I think I would like to open the floor to everyone. Now, this is the topic: the adventure of an Uber driver's daily hustle. All right. So before the guest comes in, I'd like to open the floor to everyone that may have experienced maybe something, or maybe a particular story, or maybe a particular thing that may have happened um when they booked an Uber, or when they decided to use this particular e-taxi, whether it be Uber or Taxify or Lag Ride, or they have a lot of names these days. So have you had a particular special experience of something that may have happened during your usage of any of all these e-taxi enterprises? All right. So if you have, you can just signify, raise up your hand. You can come up and share your story, whether it be good or bad. Let's get into it straight off. So if you have experienced something like that, you have a particular special experience, maybe it be good or bad, using any of all these e-taxi enterprise, just signify, and then you can come up, and then we kick it off from there as we wait for the guest. I think I should even open it up. Yeah. So there was a time I went somewhere. I was in a hurry. All right. So I went somewhere, and then I was about to go. I decided to use an Uber, and so I quickly ordered it, and in no time it was already at my gate. I was like, okay, that's fast. So it called me. I came out, and then we started the trip. It was very fast, and we're going. When I got into the Uber ride, I experienced something distinct, something different from other Uber drivers. cars. The car was quite neat. I mean, if you're a clean person, your car will be neat. Well, there's some extra little details I saw. This guy had like snacks and all these things, snacks, drinks. I'm telling you, he had complimentary cookies. He had all these things. And there, now when I saw it, I was like, oh, shit, this one just bought all these things so that he can keep himself, busy, so that he's not, so he can have something to munch on, So that's why I thought at first that maybe he bought this thing so that he can have something to always munch on when he's driving, so that he would not be bored. Also, his mouth would be busy every time. So, but when I after a while, he just asked me that, do you care for any? And I was surprised because I looked at him and I was like, oh, is it for anyone? Is it for me? Is it? And he said, yes, it's for the drivers. So I was taken aback because that was the first time that had ever happened, entering an Uber or an Uber ride and having the driver, offer you something to munch on. I've seen it somewhere before in a video, but I did not see it. I did not think it was like real, until I experienced that. All right. So anyone else that has experienced something of such, whether it be good or bad, you feel like you want to talk about? All right, so just let me know and then we would kick off from there. Okay, straight off, I think the guest is already around, so we will just kick off straight off. All right, but before we go on, is anyone here that has experienced either any good thing or bad thing from using any of the taxi enterprise? Straight off, we'll be going to the topic of this class. As I said before, it is the adventures of an Uber driver's daily hustle, and we have a guest to do justice to this topic. He is Adeyemo. Sorry, yeah, he is Adeyemo. I will be talking to him to uncover some details about how the life or what the life of an Uber driver is like, and how he copes on his day-to-day activity as an Uber driver, and all the little details about uh, driving an Uber or driving an e-taxi in Lagos, Nigeria. All right, so he is Ayodeji Adeyemo. All right, welcome to the space.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much.
All right, good evening. How's your day going?
Say again, sorry.
So how is your day
Very
going?
well, very well. That's been great.
Oh,
How about yours?
okay. Very well, thank you. Very well. Not so much stress. But the sun today is super hot, you know. So I think that's the only thing. This one is something I don't know if anybody experienced today's sun. It was something else. All right, straight off, let's go to the major discourse of today. As I said, we will be talking about the adventures of um, an Uber driver. All right, straight off, can you walk us through, how your typical day is like, and what the job entails? Driving an e-taxi in Nigeria. So, what's the typical day like for you?
Okay, thank you very much. So, a typical day for me is, I start my Uber driving like probably around 12 o'clock, and I close by, let's say, 8, 9, 10. You get.
Mm, okay. So you when you start. Okay, so when you start,
I
are there like specific spots
arrive
you
in the
decide?
evening.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
Okay, so I said when I first started the job, I start around 4 a.m. Then I close by 5 or 6. But right now I start maybe by 12 or 1. Then I close by 9, 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, how has it been so far? Or are there areas that you feel like you decide to go to first? When you start, so as to get more passengers,
So
or something like
when
that.
I started actually, but I got to learn on the job, and like every other job, getting to learn and getting experience, and as time goes by, it gets better. As terrible as it was when I first started.
Okay. All right, thank you. So I think let me ask this. I think this is very important. Have you ever had a passenger that made you regret picking them up? Have you ever had a passenger that made you regret picking them up? And just tell us briefly what happened.
Well, yeah, I've had so many passengers that made me regret picking them, you know. But there was one. So I picked her up from Surulere. Yeah, she was going towards Ikeja, the magistrate court at Ikeja. So at a point, I missed my route, right? So I was supposed to use Mobolaji Bank Anthony to Ikeja. But it was when I first started the job. So the the Google map just misled me and took me through straight down to Ojota. So and she was actually pressing her phone. So by the time she raised her head up, man, we had already gotten towards Ojota routes. As well, she was just shouting. She was just making a whole lot of noise. I was like, Madam, calm down. So I'm just new to this job, right? I'm trying to get how to use the map, how to study the route, and all of that. But she just could not listen. She just could not understand everything I've been saying. So I just looked for somewhere I parked, and after parking, I just had to stop a bike for her. They banned Okadas in Lagos, so I just stopped the bike and had to pay the bike man money to take her to Ikeja under bridge towards where she was going to. So even after that, she still had to report me to both, and I got blocked immediately. She reported. So
Oh, wow.
so it was really a serious experience for me, anyways.
This must really be a very serious one. Like you got blocked because of something like that, and I believe that was something out of your control. I think that.
Yeah, it was, and I had to pay the bike man money for the bike man to drop her actually, but
Can you
she
imagine?
still went ahead and reported me, and I got blocked, man. I was so
Can you
furious.
imagine? Can you imagine? Sorry. So I think those are some of the things that people go through on the job. But I think that would lead me to the next question I'm about to ask now, which is, how do you see, or how instrumental is the Google Map in your day-to-day activities? I would give an example first, before I allow you to. So how instrumental is the Google Map to your day-to-day activities? All right. So there was a time I was driving a friend somewhere. She could not drive, so I was driving a friend somewhere, and then was supposed to use a particular route, but the road was bad, and then she does not know where we're going to, so we just imputed the address on Google Map, and then as we were going, before we were going straight, the road was just still telling us just go straight, 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 straight. That's why we're going straight, 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 straight. You would not believe it that that day we entered Ogun State because we're going straight, straight. It was that bad, until I just looked left and I said, welcome to Ogun State. I thought, what is happening? So how instrument, because I believe that sometimes Google Map may mislead you. Jerry, from what you just said now, that Google Map, had a part to play in all those things. So how instrumental do you think is the Google Map or the usage of Google Map in your day-to-day activities?
Thank you. So, Google Map has been helpful even to date. Because I started this job like I think 2020 or thereabout. Yeah, like let me say 3 years. But till now, till date, I still use Google Map because it has really helped me a whole lot, and it's still helping. There are some places I would know in my head, or I would be familiar with, but sometimes I might not
Okay.
just get the best route to the place. And there are some places I know the route, but I just want to avoid traffic. So I'll just
Okay.
have to like use Google Map to choose the alternative route to use instead wherever there's traffic. So that's how instrumental Google Map has been actually.
Okay.
So
So far, it has not taken you to a wrong route,
no,
if you.
no, no. So I actually try studying and studying and studying. So I get proficient in
Okay. Okay.
using the Google Map. Yeah. So
Okay.
anywhere I'm going to, I'll actually first put it on the map. Then
Okay.
I scan through. Then I know where I'm going to. Then I can just switch off the Google Map and go my
Okay.
way.
All right, now let's bring this home now and make it a little bit more personal. Now, how has being an Uber driver impacted your life as a person and your family's life, both either positively or negatively?
Yeah. Okay. So Uber driving has really impacted me in so many ways. Firstly, the positive way, I get to meet a whole lot of people, right? Yeah, I
Mm,
get to make connections and
yeah.
get to know so many places, get to know so many areas in Lagos State, get
Mm,
to get used to Lagos roads actually. And again, it has really helped me financially. I get to make money and try saving and get to do some certain things I can be able to do. Like okay, like you're a friend or you're a brother, and you tell me, "Hey, bro, please, I need so amount," so I can actually calculate in my head. Okay, so day I can get to this. So, you know, I know if I work, I can get that funds for you. So that's really helped me in that line. Then it has actually really helped me to have
mm,
experience of so many things here in Lagos State. And then in the negative way, actually,
mm,
man, it has really, it takes time. Yeah. Okay. So if driving from morning to evening and going home late, it's somehow making you far away from your family. You have to concentrate while driving, go out in the morning, come back. So not like as if I'll go in the morning, come back or afternoon, so I can able to bond with my family. Then another negative way is maybe it's my own personal person, but then this job will not allow you even think of or even make you remember that you've not eaten. So sometimes I actually almost
mm.
developed ulcer, really,
Wow.
because of this job. You get so because you'll be keen on making the money driving, and you
Mm,
even forget like you want to eat or you've not eaten. Do you
mm,
understand? So the time is not there. Then
mm,
you get home very weak, very tired, stressed out, and all of that. So on the health impacts, it's actually a minus for me, anyways. But
mm.
anyways, that was really then. So now I know how to manage stress, how to manage uh, the health line of the job. Sure, you get so that's just it.
Okay. So I think it's just knowing how to manage both your personal life and the business. I think it's just important to draw the line. All right, I'm sure we are learning one or two things from all of this. Now, how do you deal with the challenges of driving in Lagos, Lagos traffic, driving in potholes, roadblocks, and all those things. So how do you deal with the challenges of driving in Lagos? Because I mean, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel driving in Lagos is different from driving in any other state in Nigeria. So yes, how is it, or how is the challenge rate? How do you deal with the challenges of driving in Lagos, which comes with the whole traffic, pothole, roadblocks, downfall driver, all these things.
Man. So driving in Lagos is, everybody knows, this is very very terrible one, right? You have to be like one special human being before you can drive in Lagos. People will say, "Oh, everybody in Lagos driving, they are always so mad on the road and all of that." So, though it's really been so terrible as always, actually, it's really been so terrible as always. But then, with time, you get used to it. So, traffic. Talking about traffic now. When I first started this job, right? I Everywhere I get orders to, I go. You get, so it's everywhere I get the order. Anywhere you order me to, I must go there. I must go and drop you. I shall want to make this money by all means. If you are ordering me from Ikeja to Ikorodu, I'll go. Ikeja to Aja, I'm going. You get. So as time goes on, and I try improving. You can't order me from Ikeja to Ikorodu and say I want to go. I can't go again because the traffic on that road is bad. It's terrible. There's this day someone ordered me towards there's this place they call Ikotun in Lagos, and somewhere inside that Ikotun is called Aba. Man, that day I was crying inside of me because was this the traffic was bad, the road was poor. So after the journey, yeah, the trip was 2006 or thereabouts. Do you know, after I left that Abaroja area and I got out of that area, I had to use like almost 8,000 naira to fix my car because the silencer got bad, and I had to do what's it called, alignments. Do you get? I had to do alignments. I had to fix my silencer because the road was that terrible. Do you understand? So I know I marked that place out of all my journeys. Like, never in my life will I go towards that area. So now I select where I go to. I don't go anything close to Ikorodu, anything close to Navy Town, all of those tick tick tick. But when I first started, I did not know. I'm just going. If they order me to the place, I'm going. If they take me anywhere, so now I think the stress by choosing where I want to go. Now I work majorly like Ikeja mainland to the island back to the mainland, and that's all for the day. So it's not like I go anywhere I see right now. Do you understand? So then
Wow.
Portos is almost everywhere though, but at least when you know the routes that are bad and you mix with people will tell you experiences like, so place is bad though, don't go there, or don't carry trips to the place, stuff like that. Though there are still people that carry trip to that place, probably they are staying along that area, they are going home and they don't have a choice. But no, it's anywhere that is bad in Lagos is a no for me. So majorly I just do mainland to island back to mainland, and I'm done for the day. So that's how I deal with traffic and bad roads and all of that.
Mm. I think this is a very good point that you just made, because a lot of people just think that if you're driving the e-taxi, it's just going to be a smooth road. Should it's just to drive here, come here, pick me up, take me here. All these behind the scenes, all these extra things that you go through after you drop the person. You said that you had to use like some amount of money, about 8,000 to repair your car just after a trip of how much, 2005 or thereabout. So you see that it was basically not worth it. So that will lead me to the next question that I want to ask. Do you think, with your little experience driving with the e-taxi, do you think the price range during traffic or surge or going to far distance, do you think the price allocation is suitable or is convenient for drivers?
Mm, so when it comes to traffic, right? If I get a trip that is not on surge, it's it makes really no significance on the trip. But if I get a trip that is on surge and there's traffic, then then you can say it's really worth it, because the calculation will be based on the surge, not on just the ordinary trip. But when the trip comes in and you see and there's no surge and you can see traffic on your route, man, I actually don't do it anyways. Even if it is where I'm going to, or if it is where I want to go to, I might not take the ride. Yeah. So sometimes you calculate the distance, sometimes you calculate the traffic before you go on it. Now we call it surgeless. That's the term we call it. So on a surgeless trip, right? But if there's actually surge, yeah, you can say, okay, let me just try it.
Okay. All right. Now, for people that don't know, I want you to explain what surge means. Because a lot of people use that word, surge. Yes, surge now. Yes, this. So, can you explain from your own perspective what you think is surge? As regards e-driving or e-taxi, what do you think is surge?
Okay, so surge now is I think it's what we call high demand, right? So it's a situation whereby we have high demand of requests. You understand? So when there's a particular area that there's high demand of requests, there's always surge. And again, when there's a particular place that is always like a peak, let me say a peak period, like probably in the evening or early in the morning, or wherever
Okay.
there's anything happening and we have a whole lot of requests, then there will be surge there. So when you request on your app, that's when you will see higher fair price or something. That's how you see it on your own app actually. But when it comes to us as a surge of 1.1 to 1.9. Do you understand? So the higher the surge, the higher the amount. So if a surge comes in with a surge of 1.2, it might tell you the price will be 2,000. But if it comes with a surge of 1.9, it might tell you the price will be 4,000 to 5,000, right? So when there's high demand for requests, then there's always surge. For example, now this show that Davido did, I
Yeah.
think last week or thereabouts,
Yes.
there was
Last
surge all
week.
through because there was high demand for requests. So everybody wants to go there, everybody wants to come back home. So within a space of 2 hours you can make like 20K because of the surge. Do you understand? So like where it was done, that was I think TBS or thereabout. From TBS to like Lekki phase one, they can give you like 5,000. On the normal days, not supposed to be like it's not supposed to be more than 1.8 to 2,000, but they can take it to like 4,000, 5,000 because of high surge, high demand. Do you understand? So that's what we call surge. So I hope that explains better, anyways.
Yes, yes, yes. It does. It does. All right. Um, so I want to take you back a little bit. There was a time I asked about the challenges that you face on the road as an e-taxi driver. You know, now I want you talked about the negative part that has to do with you the negative part that has to do with you not spending time with family, and you also talked about health. All right. Now I think you didn't talk about safety. Yes, I'm sure there must have been safety. There should be like safety challenges and all those things. So now the question is, what are the safety um what's it now um challenges that comes to play using an e-taxi or driving an e-taxi, and then what are the measures that you put in place to ensure your own safety, you know, when driving a passenger? or what are the measures you put in place to ensure your own safety and as well the safety of the passengers while you're driving?
Okay, so about the negative measures actually. So I didn't
Mm.
mention safety and I didn't mention some other things. I just remembered now. Sorry about that.
Okay, no
So
problem.
starting with safety now, right?
Mm.
You know, everything in life is risk anyway. So the
Mm.
riders ordering the cab self, they are taking risks, and we the drivers taking the riders are also taking risk. Yeah.
Mm.
So we all try to see, okay, how safely it will be for us and the riders. So the riders now, when I get a request and I take you, if actually we are passing through a danger zone, you
Mm.
know, I always tell the riders, please keep your valuables. We can't trust all these people that are around.
Mm.
So, though
Okay.
my car is dark tinted, you might not see through, but then I always
Okay.
still advise them to please keep your valuables, still keep your phone for now. Anything can happen at any time.
Mm.
So, then I make sure my door is always on central lock, and I don't actually stop for anybody on the road that is not maybe a law enforcement officer and all of that. So you know that's me ensuring their own
Mm.
safety, and I actually assure them like, okay, you know what, you are safe here. You want to ride with me, we are fine. I take you to wherever you're going to, and it's good. So on my own part, on my own safety part too, I always try and look up to whoever I'm taking. Like I will actually, we can't actually see more. Nobody is perfect, but at least
Mm.
I actually try to look at whoever I'm taking and see if this person can be a danger to me
Mm.
or if the person will not be. Then
Okay.
sometimes if I get a ride at night and you're trying to, like, you want to enter the car and you're sitting right behind me, I'll tell you, I'm sorry, bro, sis, please just shift to the other side of the door. Yes. So at least
Mm.
once I can be peeping at you at the
Yeah.
mirror and see
True.
what is happening. Then if
Mm.
at all there are two people ordering me, maybe in the evening or by night, and both of them are sitting at the back, I'll say, bro, please, I beg, someone should just come to the front. One at
Mm.
the front, one at the back. So both of you cannot sit at the back. So that's actually how I try to keep my own safety as well. So
But, but
anyway,
but in that case, have you had any issues with people saying that they cannot move, like speaking to others, and they say they cannot move
uh,
from the floor?
no, I've actually not, but when I
Okay.
talk to you politely and
Okay.
I will make
Okay.
you understand the reason why I'm telling you that, at
Mm.
least I've not really dealt with reasonable riders anyway. So the
Okay.
way
Okay.
so is the politeness actually that you will
Mm.
make you feel like, okay, then let's just do it. So you get,
Mm. Mm.
so that's it.
Okay.
Then
Now, take. Okay.
okay,
No,
should I
continue.
continue?
Continue.
So the other one I actually did not talk about was, the negative part, like, getting into trouble with all these law enforcement
Law
officials on the
enforcement.
road,
Mm. True.
um, tax force,
Mm.
police, VIO, LASMA, all of those. I actually forgot to mention that because maybe I'm actually a law enforcement person too, so I don't get into troubles with all of those people anymore. But
Oh,
when I
okay.
first started and I haven't gotten a job,
Mm.
I there was a day I went to Yaba and I turned from somewhere, and some group of people inside one small bus, they call it Korokwe, they just blocked me
Mm.
and told me like I did
Okay.
what's it called now, an illegal U-turn, and they had to take me to their office, local government. I begged and begged and begged before they collected 10,000, and in my account it was like 11,000 plus or thereabout. They collected 10,000. I told them my wife is in the hospital. My wife, I don't actually have a wife that is in the
Oh.
hospital. I said my wife is in the
Mm.
hospital. Please, this and that. They did not allow me until they collected 10K. So another negative impact is, getting into trouble with all of these people. Do you understand?
Mm,
So
mm.
that's it.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. I believe that this is very, very enlightening because I did not see the part that the law officials had to play and how it was affected or how it is currently affecting the e-taxi drivers. Yes. So I would like to ask you, when we're talking about the challenges and all those things, and we're specifically talking about the safety, a question popped in my mind, and I would like to ask it. Sometimes when we open the social media, some things we see on the news, and maybe or some of them self that we've heard from someone here or there. There was even one I heard that there was an Uber driver that was attacked by his own passengers. Also heard another one that he drove his Uber and then he did not come back home and stuffs like that. So have you ever experienced um what will I call them now? Riders like this, you know. Have you ever experienced riders like this, or riders that would book and then behave funny? Let me put it that way. Behave funny when they book the ride. Have you ever experienced riders like this?
Wow. Yeah. So there are a whole lot of stories, and they're actually all true, anyways. Because
Mm,
you know, sometimes if you get a rider, okay, so we have a group actually, like few
okay.
of the drivers we just have a group, and one posted
Mm,
a story a day, like she had it was a lady driver actually. She had experience with
okay.
all of these people that wants to snatch her car, and
Mm,
stuff like that. So there was this fateful day. I dropped someone at Bega. That was 2022, right? 2022.
okay.
So I dropped this person at Bega. So I was now like, I just switched on my app and trying to get another ride. So this rider came in. When he came in, the rider said he's going to. There are two, right? Both sat at the back, and it
Mm,
was like around past 9. Or there was it past 9, past 8. So one sat at the back, and the two sat at the back. Actually, I
mm,
actually told them same thing. Like, can someone sit in the front? They said no. They are this. They are that. So okay, I said no problem. Let's go. So they said they are going to Oniru Beach from Bega. I said no
okay.
problem. So the other one was dressed in one white agbada, like a Kegite chief, right? The other
Oh,
carrying a small bag. So you know this body, whenever anything bad want to happen, the body will always
mm,
tell you no matter what. Like your body will always tell you, except you want to just be deaf towards that body.
mm,
So my body was not. I was not just calm. I was not calm. I was looking at the bag like this is not right. I feel like I've carried the wrong passengers, right?
mm,
So on the way, so when we got to Anthony, when we got to Anthony, the guy was just like, bros, we know they go via Oniru again, or you take us to Ogombo Road, Matikan Beach. I was like, bros, it was Oniru you put on the map or the app now. Why Atika Beach? Like, I can't go that far. I said, no worry, no worry, I will give you money, no worry, stuff like that. Ha. The way he was saying it, you know, man, I was feeling like so uncomfortable. So I just felt like I'm not going to continue on this trip, but I don't know how to tell them. I just
mm,
entered. I remember vividly. I just entered the first station. When
mm,
I entered the first station, I told the attendant I wanted to buy. I actually want to buy four.
mm,
So and actually I had four in my car, but I had to enter the first station. So I just said he should sell 1K for me. So while the attendant was selling the four for me, I told the attendant, bros, I'm an Uber driver, but these my passengers, I don't want to carry them. So when you're done with the four, I will just do like as if my car is faulty, then you help me push. He said no problem. So after he sold the four, I actually entered the car. I put my gear on drive. Still, I put my car on drive. and
Mm.
tried kicking. So if the car is on drive and you are trying to kick, it will not answer you at all. So I tried
Okay.
kicking like so many times. It didn't answer. I was just like, bros, this my car don't get fault again. No, bros, what we go do? I just called that for attendant. Please, bros, let me just push this car forward a little bit towards somewhere that is safe. So she just pushed it and I opened the bonnet. I was looking for waiting on loss for the car. So during that process, I don't know, maybe I don't even know whatever they said to themselves. They just got down from the vehicle. They did not even, you know, if it was to be another driver, a genuine rider, sorry, they will be
Mm.
like, what's happening with the car? What are you going to do? Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. They will actually have passion. But these ones, they just sat in the car. So when they saw it was nothing was coming forth, they just left the car. They didn't even tell me anything. They just left the car and went away.
Uh-huh.
So I was even like, thank God. Though. Adibin is another person. The person will tell me, okay, book another one for us, or cancel.
Yeah.
Let us pay you the one that we've done, and we'll look for another one. They did not even say one thing like this. They just left. Come on, man. I was just thanking God, like, God. In fact, Adibin, I did not listen to this, my body. What would have
Mm.
happened? I was just like, let them go. So that fuel attendant was all like, bros, thank God for your life, because if to say, listen, these people where they say, for that fuel attendant to even notice, like, these
Mm.
guys, see the way they look,
Mm.
self. The guy was just like, man, thank God for your life. So, this body will always tell you whenever there is trouble around you, except if you just don't want to listen. So I did
Mm.
when I took them, maybe another story, maybe there won't be me today, or I won't have my car or stuff like that. You get. So that's just it.
I mean, we're very happy that you're still alive and everything is intact. Thank God that nothing bad happened. All right. So that will lead me to the next question I would like to ask. Are there any misconceptions about? Are there any misconceptions that people have about being an Uber driver? Are there any misconceptions that you've probably heard that you feel like people have about Uber drivers themselves?
Yeah, sure. This country that we are, I don't understand. 80% of all, no, okay, let me say 70% of riders, once they order a ride now,
Mhm.
they feel like they have ordered their own personal driver. Do you understand? They have already feel like, okay, they have ordered one low life guy, like driver, like that. And sometimes it's not so. The way they will even talk to you, the way they will even react with you, you'll be like,
Yeah.
what's all this?
Mm.
You being a cab guy does not mean you are a low lifer or you are nobody.
Mhm.
Most of the cab guys outside self, they are actually doing very well, more than
Very
some of the
well.
riders that are ordering the ride, but they will not know, just majorly because is an Uber driver, is a Bolt driver. They feel like they can
Mhm.
talk the person down, or they can try to like just look down on you. Do you understand? So
Mhm.
someone will just order you. The person will not call. You still try and call the person. The person will be like, "Oh, guy, where are you?" you know all of those things always sound so absurd to me. So at least uh, most of them too, they go outside, they know how it's been done outside Nigeria. At
Yeah.
least, like, I've been I've yeah, I've actually, at least, let me say, 3 or 4 times out of Nigeria, I use cab. I know how to relate with them. I know how people relate with cab drivers. I've seen how people relate with cab drivers outside of Nigeria. But our own Nigeria, yeah, no, nothing like that. So it's just our own Nigeria here is not like that. So it's just anyhow we see, we talk to cab drivers like as if we are just one low lifer like that. And it's not supposed to be so. We have to treat each other with respect, with accord. When I call you, I won't sound rude if I call you. But when I call you and you be like, "Oga, where are you? Oga, follow the map." No, 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 no. All of those words are actually, not polite at all to drivers.
Mhm.
So You know, it's just I don't know. It's just here in Nigeria that I know we have a whole lot of misconception about cab drivers.
I think you have a point there, because I mean there are a lot of people that are disrespectful. I've also heard people, talk about Uber drivers and how they see Uber drivers in a certain light. And I feel like, I mean, anybody can decide to drive. Anybody can decide to be an Uber driver. You understand? So I think we need to change that misconception. A friend of mine booked an Uber ride one day, and then he started talking with the Uber driver. Both of them started having a conversation, along the ride. And then before you know it, the Uber driver gave him a gig. All right. He gave him like a side job, like gave him something, connected him with someone that gave him, a job to do. And that paid him money. You understand? So there's nobody that is small. Like there are a lot of Uber drivers that probably have standard businesses on the side. So I think it's important that we change that misconception, about Uber drivers and all those things. There was an Uber driver that carried me one day. The car alone, you will know that this person is comfortable. You understand? He probably just drives just maybe because he likes to drive, also he's not bored at home, or stuff like that, and because obviously driving the Uber also pays to an extent. So yes, so I think we need to change that misconception and rewrite the narrative. All right, I will be drawing the curtains for the program for this session very shortly, and I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying the contributions, the talk, the experiences from Mr. Ayodeji. All right, I'm sure we are enjoying everything. I'm sure that we have some insights that we did not know before. Okay, so I would like to ask this before I ask the last question. So this is almost like second to the last. Let's rush this. How do you manage your finances now as an Uber driver? Compared to compared to before driving an Uber. You said something about finances before, so let's bring it back. How do you manage your finances now as an Uber driver? And what advice would you give like other drivers, or other Uber drivers managing their finances?
Okay, so one thing about me, I'm very very poor at finances. Actually, like
Mm,
really really poor.
mm,
Even if I have 20K in my accounts, I will just feel like I can't rest until I finish that 20K. Do you
mm,
understand? Even before I started driving. So, but when I started driving, I just see like, you have to keep saving and saving and make sure you're not so bad at
mm,
spending.
mm,
You get to see money, right? Actually, while driving, cause you driving a whole day and okay, like my own targets now every day is like 20K, right? So I make
mm,
I'll target like I'll make 20,000 a day. Do you
mm,
understand? So if I make 20,000 a day and I can't
mm,
actually save some part of the money, the
mm,
stress, the hustle, and everything is just actually wasted for me. So I just
mm,
thought of it like the only way I could manage all of these things is to do contributions. Do you
mm,
understand? So,
mm,
and though at first it was actually not so easy for me doing the contribution because I wasn't used to contribution. I wasn't used to saving money. I just spent the way I see the money. I just spend it. Do you understand? So, but
mm,
I saw people doing contribution and I joined. Do you
mm.
understand? So I joined, and that's actually have helped me in savings. Like helped me a whole lot.
Oh,
So, for
mm,
instance, now, like in I do two contributions right now. In 10
mm,
days, I contribute 70,000. Do you understand?
mm,
So,
mm,
like, and we are 10 people in 10 days, 70K. That's like 700K. Do you
mm,
understand? So,
mm,
but if it's not as if that money is with me, I won't save, but I will save. I will say, okay, well, I want to save for maybe I want to save for the rainy days, or I want to save. If I don't do contribution, the rainy day will be tomorrow. Rain will fall
mm.
tomorrow
True,
because I have to
true.
spend money. Do you
Mm,
understand? So
yeah.
So though it's the contribution comes with like you want to meet up with contribution and all of that. So actually, when we finished the first batch, I just came down to 50K in 7 days, 50K in 7 days, because I don't want to really stress that much for that 70,000. It's not as if it's not possible, but then I
Mm,
just don't want to do 70K in 10 days. So now I do like 50K in 7 days. Do you understand?
mm,
So if I work a day, like today now, I've made 18,000 today. Do you understand? Before joining this thing, and it was just
oh,
two
wow.
trips. It was just two trips. One 12,000, the other one I think 6K or thereabout. So you get, so
Oh,
it's not that hard for me to keep 50,000 in seven
mm,
days. That's in a week. Do you
yeah,
understand? 20K
yeah.
today, 20K tomorrow, 10K next tomorrow, and that's fine. And the rest of the days are for me. Do you understand? But if
Mm,
I don't save like that, I will just keep spending and spending and spending.
mm,
So
yeah,
contributions have really made me cut down on my expenses, cut down on my spendings, and it has really saved me a whole lot. You get.
mm,
So I know at the
yeah.
end of any 10 days, I have to get my money. I have to get like 500K. Do you understand? So
Oh, wow.
that's just how it works for me now. Contribution. So I will advise the
Mm,
rest of the drivers, if you actually are into this Uber, e-cab, e-hailing business, you have to at least do contribution with trusted people, not people
mm,
that you will save money and at the end of the day they will run away with your contribution. No, you have to
mhm,
save with trusted people, people that you know you can trust. So that's it for me. Actually, contribution saves me a whole lot.
mm.
So that's it.
Saving, yeah. All right, saving with trusted people. I think that's the message my first pass across, saving with trusted people. All right, so I'm sure we are getting value for all these things. The last question I'd like to ask you before I throw it off for people to ask questions is, what advice would you give someone who is considering becoming an Uber driver in Lagos, Nigeria?
Sorry, take that again. I can't get you. Sorry.
All right. So the question is, what advice would you give someone that is considering becoming an Uber driver in Lagos?
Okay. So, the advice I would give someone that is actually just going into the business is, first off, you have to be patient. Like, this job needs a whole lot of patience because you will meet with so many people, the good, the bad, the ugly. You meet with a whole lot of people. You have to be patient. You have to be able to persevere. Do you understand? Not everything that a rider tells you, you react to. Not everything that a rider do, you react to. Like the second passenger I took today now, uh, when before she entered the car,
Yeah.
the way she greeted me said was somehow, but I just did not talk. She was eating in the car and part of the food spilled on the seats. I have, madam, why this, that. I actually did not make it a big deal. I actually did not shout at her, but then I just, because I know I was still washing myself, but then I actually just spoke to her politely. But the way she spoke to me, she knew, okay, this is not supposed to be so, and she apologized and everything finished. Do you understand? So
Mm,
someone who is willing to join should be able to take a whole lot, absorb whole lot of things. You understand? Then,
yeah.
secondly, you should be able to familiarize yourself with road signs majorly, because driving in Lagos is not for the weak. Oh, any small mistake like this, they are all waiting for you. They are all out there waiting for you to catch you, to to catch a prey. So you have to
Mm,
familiarize yourself with the road signs. You have to know how to use Google Map very well. If you are not familiar with the road, then you have to be disciplined. Yeah, self-disciplined. Self-disciplined. Like I said, you meet a whole lot of people, different characters. You get. some will order you. They know they do not have that money to pay you, but they will still order you, pick them, and at the end of the day, you guys will get into quarrel. Or some will order you. They don't have, especially on the island, don't have the funds, but they will tell you, bros, how far now? I don't have this money, but I will actually make you happy in your car. You know, stuff like that. But if you are not too disciplined, actually, you fall for all of these things. Do you get it? You fall for all of these things. A lady will just walk up to you and tell you, bros, I don't get money, but I go make you happy inside your car or all of those things. It makes you look focused if you are not disciplined. So you have to be disciplined. And again, you have to be vigilant. Many of these people, many of these guys, ladies, guys, will make fake transfer to you. And you might not know, not until you've gone. And you start calling, they will block off your line. I've actually fell victim of fake transfer like 2 times. One, I think one 7,000, the other 4,000 or thereabouts. The first one was a guy. I dropped the guy from Lekki to Computer Village. He sent money to me. He said it has gone. No, I did not see the debit alert, but it showed successful. I said okay, no problem, just go. I will confirm later. I waited. This money did not enter. I could not rest. A whole 7,000 naira. I called this guy. This guy was like, yes, that he would check that, yeah, it has gone. He would check. After I called him like 2 times, the third time he blocked my line. He blocked every line that I was using. And actually, I did not pick him from where I could easily trace him to. So that's how that one went. The other one, the ladies, they transferred 4,000 to me from Trulere to Lekki. They transferred 4,000 to me. At the end of the day, because another order came in before I dropped them, so I was not so sure. I just said, don't worry, I will confirm. So I was so keen on picking the other request, and I allowed them go. So after I called them and they blocked my line too, and all of those things. So guys, people should be vigilant. Actually, they should be very, very vigilant and be watchful. Then they have to be safety conscious. You don't just pick anybody anyhow. You don't pick random people. Me like this, I can't be going and you stop me by the roadside or bus stop and say I should take you to somewhere. I won't do it because there's no way to trace you. There's nowhere to trace you to and all of that. So I will not do it. So you have to be self conscious and think of the safety that is attached to it. Then you have to know how to maintain your car. You have to make your car look nice and comfortable enough for your riders. Not that you drop a rider, the rider will report to you like the car is smelling or rough car, or a rider will enter your car, cockroach will be running here and there. No, you don't do that. You have to take care of your car. You have to maintain your car very well. Like my car now, I've not seen a day that it has broke down on this Lagos road. It's because of maintenance. You get. So before a car can break down, it would have been giving you that sign, especially Toyota. It would have been giving you that sign that this thing is not right. So, but if you keep managing, and you are seeing the money every day, you can't just maintain your car, man. It will get to a stage, it will just break down the Third Milan Bridge. You just see guys coming out from under bridge. You'll be like, where are these guys coming from? But before you know it, they have surrounded you. Bros, Oga, now 10,000 be your money, or we go help you do your car, but your money now 10,000. What is not up to like 1,007? At the end of the day, you'll be at the losing end. So, person should know how to maintain the car very well. Then, customer relationship is also good. It's also a key to this job. Then you have to know how to relate with your clients. Most of the riders that I get today are referrals and some people that have picked one day or the other. Picking someone from here to this place, and the person will be like, can you come and take me back? Can I always request for you anytime? And from there you get to bond very well and make connections. So that's it. Then what else? that's majorly the key point, Sha. And as time goes on, you learn on the job, like every other job. You learn on this job as well. You get so like now the max trip you can see me do in a day is 2 to 3, and I'll make my 20K. Or worst come to worst, 18,000, 2 to 3 trips in a day. Do you understand? Before, when I started, I'll go from here to here, from A to B to C to D, thereby entering wahala with police, entering wahala with LASMA, killing my car engine, killing the car, rigorous work. Oh. But now, as time goes on, I got experience on the job. I learned on the job, and I learned to, okay, if I stay at this point, I can get order from here to the island. The least it will give me is 8K. I go. If I stay at the point on the island, come back to the mainland, the least it will give me is 8 or 7,000. And I do one trip and I run it up to like 20K, and I'm done for the day. You understand? So the person will just learn on the job, really, if the person can just take note of the little points I mentioned. So that's it.
Very, very big thank you to you. All right, so what's your question, please?
All right. There's just one funny question though. So talking about experiences that Uber drivers or these guys face, I've heard a couple of stories around how do I phrase this? Uber drivers or drivers and female passengers, wanting to just some sort of sexual harassment or sexual dealings and all of those. I just want to know if it's something that is like a thing or if you've ever heard or experienced such, because one time I was with an Uber driver and he was narrating a story on how he actually met his sugar mommy and all of that. So I wanted you to throw some light. Is it like a thing, especially with the fact that you guys are exposed to meeting a whole lot of people? I mean, and these are people from different, with different baggages, yeah. And then the second question would be, what's like the most frequent, car fix that you normally encounter, especially the fact that you guys, are always on the road. I'm sure that your vehicles will most likely have, like let's say regular issues that you normally experience, while doing in your job, in your line of work. Yeah, so those are my two questions.
Okay. So concerning the first question, right? Okay, so I think I talked about the parts that when I was talking about self-discipline, that there are some that will order you, they don't have the money, but they will order, and when you get to them, they will be like, bros, I don't get up to that, so but I go make you happy for inside your car or do this or do that. This thing is real, right? So we meet a whole lot of different people. We meet a whole lot of people. So there are some that their own major aim is just take me to wherever I'm going to. I'll give you whatever you want inside the car, and we are done, and that's fine. And there are some that they met passenger and rider, and after from there they become good friends and they start dating. And there are some that okay, so in case of one driver now, the guy is in the UK. The lady that took him to the UK is actually his rider. So they just met. The lady ordered, they met, they got close, and from there they had they started relationship, and from there they did registry, and the lady invited her over to the UK. So now the guy is in the UK. So that's another one actually. But the part that ladies try to sexualize, yes, it happens actually. It really happens. But then, if you are not self-disciplined, you'll fall for all of these things. It's best for you to say, okay, if where the person is going is not too far, I will take you there whenever you have the money, pay me. Or if you feel it is far than what you can actually help the lady for, then you tell the person, no, I can't do it. But there are some that will still say, when shall come like that, so yeah, now let's go. Do you understand? So stuff like that happens actually. We get to see a whole lot of things on a daily basis. So secondly, as for the car maintenance, actually, well, me, I use a Toyota Corolla. So actually it's very hard for you to see a Corolla get spots. Do you understand? Especially when you manage your car very well. But if you don't maintain your car very well, if you don't maintain your car, you hear this sound. Me, if I hear one sound like this, I will don't run go my mechanic shop. Do you understand? So once you hear a sound and you actually don't take note of it, it develops to a compound problem, and at the end of the day, spoil more than what it started with. Do you understand? So my own car, the major fault I have in my car, or majorly Toyota Corolla generally, is just the hub. When you drive in a very uh, a road that has a whole lot of water, it spoils the hub. So then another issue with Corolla generally, another issue with Corolla is actually what was it called? Just majorly with the leg, the alignments, the hub, and just stuff like that you get. But there are some other cars, like if you are using Nissan, for example, now, you have to deal with electrical problems majorly. You get. So there's other cars like Camry now. Their Camry major problem about Camry is just once they start having steering rack problem like this, is always a very difficult one for them. So, but as for me, the major repairs I do on my car is just the hub, then servicing. I once my car hits 3,000 mileage, I service it. I don't wait until it crosses to over 3,000, and I use semi-synthetic. There are some that you use just normal random engine oil. Do you understand? And it kills engine faster. Do you understand? So the cocoa is just maintain your car, know your car, study your car, maintain the car, and you're good. So that I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, very well, very well. Thank you for that insights. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for that. Do we have any other question?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Ayodeji Adeyemo, if I'm correct.
Good evening, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, and thank you for the insight so far. It's been really, really nice. So I just have a couple of questions. I actually have a lot, but I'll just ask two for now, just to save us time. So the first one will be, so I've taken Uber or Taxify trips for a couple of time, and sometimes you just hear some drivers tell you that Oga, we could do offline trip. So I'd like to know. I don't think you should have any fears from answering this question, because I don't think there's any Uber or Taxify official here. Yeah, so I'd like to know. So the offline thing, why do people always prefer offline? Because I think that is what it is. They prefer it. So why do people always prefer offline trips? So that's the first one. So the second one will be the rating. So another thing, at the end of every trip, these drivers, you guys are always like, Oga, please, I beg, give me 5-star, give me 5-star. I think I know why, but I just want to be clear. I'm not so sure. And since you've had this experience, so I'd like you to make clarity. So why do people always want this rating? It's not like if you're not rated, you would not get to work the next time, or I might be wrong. But really, why? What's the essence of this rating? What does it play? So those are my two questions.
Okay, thank you so much. So the first question about the offline trips. Okay, so majorly the main reason why we do offline trips, right, is probably when we see the let's say the price or the fare for the said trip, it does not really worth the trip at first. Not to talk of now removing commission from it. Okay, so like for example, today now, the first trip I did today, right, was from airport. The person ordered from airport and was going to Songwater, and we know how bad that road is. We know how terrible the road is, traffic, bad roads, and all of that. And when the person ordered it on the app, it was showing 4,009 to 5,006 or thereabouts. Do you understand? It was showing 4,009 to 5,006. And actually, if you do this trip on the app, sometimes it might not get to 5,006. Sometimes it might be much more than 5,006. And again, after every trip, boats will still remove 27% of whatever you earn. Do you understand? So now taking someone all the way from airport to Songwater is not even just toll gate or inside Songwater for 5,009, and you still remove 27% of the trip of commission on the trip. So what's now remaining for us? We'll do maintenance. Now that I go to that song one, I actually don't really know the road. I'll have to fix my alignment. I'll have to fix one or two things on my car. You now say, okay, collect 5,000, and you still pay me 27% commission out of that. It doesn't really worth it. So sometimes you just be like, okay, bros, you know how the road is, and this trip cannot be done online. Is it okay by you to go offline with me? And it's the rider's choice. If yes, he wants to go. If sometimes no, sometimes yes. Do you understand? But so some riders will know, like, this place I'm going to truly is a very terrible place. So they don't have choice than to do offline. So the guy came and I told him, bro, where you are going to on the map, on Google Map, is like 1 hour 58 minutes with back. This price yourself is not worth it. So is it fine by you if you can do offline? He said, no problem now, it's okay. How much do you want to collect? And I said, bro, give me 15K. He said, no, I'll give you 12K. And I said, okay, let's go. So, 5,009 to 12,000. It's not as if I forcefully collected the money. I just told him, if you are okay by it, I'll take you. There are some people, while I was still at the airport waiting for the trip, there are some red that came in. Some were going from airport to Aja. Yesterday, I don't know if you were on social media yesterday, you see a whole lot of people complaining about that traffic from VGC to Aja. Yesterday, it was so terrible, it was so bad. Some people spent like 3-4 hours on the road. Today, when they were ordering from airport to Aja, they were the ones telling how much you go collect, because they know the situation of the road, because they know they are repairing the road and it's causing a whole lot of gridlock. Do you understand? So they know drivers might not want to go on the app because of the traffic issue, because of the bad road. So they'll be like, okay, how much do you want to take? So like this my own situation today, and I said 15K. He said no, let me give you 12K, and I feel 12K is reasonable enough. Even if he had said 10,000, I would take it for 10K. But I feel 12K is reasonable enough, and we did it offline, and everybody was happy. We were gisting, we were talking in the car, So offline trips is not as if it's something that we forcefully do. If it's something like from that airport to Yanokwaja, or airport to VI, or to Lekki, that I know that, okay, fine, there's no problem on the road, I'll take you. But when I feel it is not worth the price, it is not worth the stress, and it is not worth you removing 27% of commission from the trip, then I'll tell you, bro, can we do this offline? If you're fine by it, no problem. If you're not fine, no problem. You book another ride. Just that it might just take a while for you to get someone that will go to Songwon on the app from airports. So that's just the way it is with offline trips. Sometimes riders will be like, no, because of safety issue, blah blah blah. Yes, I understand. Do you understand? And it's not by force. If you are not fine by it, no problem. You worst come to worst, you still get someone that will take you on the app. But sometimes me personally might not just want to go on the app because it doesn't really worth it. So that's it about the offline trips actually. Then the second question now. Please, can you help me with the second question again? Sorry about that.
Yeah, second question is on the rating.
Okay, yeah, rating, yeah. Now I get rating. So about the rating, right? So the rating improves the driver score on the app. So if a driver score is like, so the minimum threshold that the drivers are given is 50%, right? Out of 100, if 50. Anything below 50, 49, and 49 below, then the driver's app, the driver's account will be blocked for 1 year. Do you understand? Will be blocked for 1 year. Anything below 49. So when we see our rating are going low, we'll ask riders to please rate us so that we can have a good driver score. Do you understand? But sometimes you don't even need to tell these riders. The way you attend to them, the way you guys gist, the way you guys talk, they'll be like, I've given you 5 star, I've given you 4 star. Some will even say, if there's anything like 10 star, I'll give it to you because you're a good person. So it depends on the way you rapport with them. Me, I don't really tell riders to rate me like that because I know if they will rate me well. Because there is nothing that will warrant you giving me 1 star. If you give me 1 star, it will affect my driver score. It might remove like 2 points of my driver score. So, and nobody wants the driver score to go lower and the account gets blocked. You understand? So rating increases our driver scores. Do you understand? So that's how it works for the app. So if you rate me well, if I get people that can rate me like 5 to 10, like 5 people rating me 5 stars, or 10 people rating me 5 stars in a day, then that's really a bonus to my driver score. It will just shoot up. They'll be like, this guy is a very good person. But if riders keep rating you two star, 1 star, 3 star, they'll be like, maybe there's a reason for these riders rating you, and the driver score keeps getting lower and lower till you get blocked. And when you get blocked, it's for 1 year. That means you will not have access to the app to drive for 1 year. And for someone that is dependent on, driving for daily job, that person has entered Wahala. So that's just how it works for us.
All right, many thanks for that. Does anyone have any other question? Do we have any other question? All right then. So if there's no other question, I think we'll be ending the space right about now. Yeah, I'm sure this. Do you have a question? Okay, so we'll be ending the space right about now. I'm sure we've learned a lot about how the e-hailing drivers cope with their day-to-day activities, how the hustle is. We had things like um 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 we had different things, with what they face security wise, health wise. I didn't even know they faced anything health wise, and all those things. So now we can be able to see it from a more a more understanding point of view. So yes, this is where we draw the space to a close. Many thanks to everyone that joined in. Once again, a very big thank you to you, Mr. Adeyemo, Ayodeji. All right, I'm hoping, or I'm thinking that we may even do a part 2 of this. So we can be able to exhaustively, discuss more, and also even have more people in here. So we can be able to discuss more and have more insights to all these things. Yes. So a very big thank you once again for joining, for availing yourself the time to join us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so this is without, if there's no any other questions, I think we will be closing it now. Right about now. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. I remain your host, Joshua, aka Mercury. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And have a beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead of you. Good night.